Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually still are seeing some pretty bad scalping pandemics going on everywhere, where as of right now, we are now even seeing rings of people pulling together to essentially go into every single individual store to walk in to get stock and buy stock. And there's actually been kind of a somewhat big thing going on as well up in Japan, going up as well as also in America. And we've also been kind of seeing this kind of somewhat popping up too as well with the Xbox Series X's, where we actually are basically seeing like just a small ring of folks out there trying their best to go and circle around and check every single store they can to go and buy and get, and then eventually go and sell and scalp out other consoles going on. There's actually been a really big problem, especially in other different types of countries where the restocks are a lot harder to go and find. And as well as we keep on seeing more and more of these restocks showing up here in America, we actually do keep on seeing this happen quite a bit more. And it kind of does kind of go into show, because we saw this a lot when it came to big Best Buy events, especially and namely on the Xbox Series X big like walk-in slash like line event, and as well as also even recently with the Best Buy's most recent PS5 walk-in. And on top of that too, sometimes just go and see really big stints of multiple scalpers working together to go and buy and get as many consoles as they can. So although we are thankfully all done with Christmas, although I do kind of miss the Christmas vibes a little bit, we still have the big pandemic, still have the botters and scalpers all floating around. Though thankfully it's been kind of cool stuff. We've had a chance to go and see that other retailers are actually trying their best to go and fix it and change it. And some of the stuff, I guess, is a little bit on the Japan side, but also this has also been happening in America, UK, and everywhere else too as well. So if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 disc, digital console, and controller. Twitter and Twitch stream as well, link down below. Thank you guys so much, by the way, for the Prime stuff. If you guys have Amazon Prime winning for the Amazon restock, feel free to go and put that with the Twitch account, drop a Prime sub if you guys want to, link down below. And of course, sign up for Weeble. Deposit $100, you guys go get free stock, free money. Go ahead and base, you guys go buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency. You guys go and get free Bitcoin. Those are always linked down below. And now let's go and suffer and see the sadness of scalpers all floating around. So this kind of first of all originates up in Japan, but I'm going to kind of segue this into American stuff too as well. So I actually had a chance to go and see some of the stuff where basically we're now seeing these, I'll kind of like zoom in this photo over here. We're basically seeing these PlayStation 5 scalping groups essentially going into almost every single individual store in almost like droves in ways, where you basically go and let's say you have 10 folks over there and they collectively go check every single store that's available and enter into every single individual like raffle and chance to get consoles, and they will just go in mass enter, get a huge group, and essentially get like, but let's put it this way, you go get 100 people, you get 10 consoles, you can split the profits. You can do that every single week as you go get consoles, because a lot of the things in Japan, they kind of do more of a raffling based system. So once a week, once a month, every few weeks, depending on how much stock they get and how big the retailer is. When they go and do that, they'll have a chance to get entered on it. Think like a PlayStation Direct, Walmart raffle, or Best Buy raffle, where the more chances you have, the better chance you get for consoles. So basically what these groups are doing is they just have a massive amount of folks all put together to go and scalp and get as many consoles as they can. And then essentially go and find home bases, and people are even seeing pictures of folks being like, yeah, here's literally 5 consoles just for the day. And essentially like just imagine them going to a mall, checking every location and trying to go and get all the stock they can. Now, this has been awful, but we at least have actually seen some nice things throughout these past few months of Japanese retailers also trying to go and stop this. And we've been slowly seeing that too as well here in America, where a lot of the American places will have you go and check your IDs, have a credit card in the system, or also have a certain email. Although you can somewhat go and circumvent that, at least we are seeing some retailers trying to go and stop it. Same thing too as well for having things like tied into your accounts, and then having your account have to have like a Walmart Plus, Best Buy Technical, like Premium, whatever. The thing, I don't even want to know the name of it because it's too expensive, and then GameStop Pro, stuff like that. So we are at least seeing this stuff. We've even seen Japanese retailers where they basically try their best to go and now then write the name of the person who buys it inside the box. So if someone's trying to go and scalp it and buy the console, number one, they know the name, whether it's from ID and other stuff. And then number two, if someone goes and buys it on third party, they know that it was a scalped box and they know who bought it as well. And also on top of that too, they also have a chance to go and just put really big X's on the outside of the box. So just imagine like a huge X or circle, or like sold by Amazon or something like that, to essentially try to devalue the third-party value of all of these consoles. So this is still kind of a huge pandemic though when it comes to this. I keep on using the word pandemic, but we are still seeing this, and even in America too as well, now that we're slowly seeing these starting to pop on up. So a big case in point has been on Target. Now, thankfully, and if you guys ever do want to go check your Target locations for Xboxes and the very, very rare PlayStation 5, thankfully a lot of normal individual folks are getting their consoles, which I think is one of the best perks out there, because it's just basically you can't bot it, so you can't go buy an entire like 5,000 consoles. You can't necessarily really scalp it too well. You can in theory still, but like sometimes, like if they have you check your ID or email or same credit card on file, it is harder to go. You still can technically, but it's still harder to go and do. But as well, we've also been seeing folks that basically will just go and drive around every single Target now for the Xboxes, because those are still selling pretty well on third-party prices. And they'll go and check every single store, or they try to get a good employee connection, or they go and have like, let's say a group of like 5 folks, they just do it all together and they just split the profits. And then they'll just go and check, like say like 3 stores here, 3 stores there, and check them every day or every few days and try to find out when the stock is arriving. So this is still even happening in America, in the UK, etc. And this happened a lot in these Best Buy events. A good example, I believe some person even told me, which I do not approve of this and I do not like this, is that they went to one Best Buy store that was in the Texas area, bought stock, left, came back an hour later, bought another one, left, had their wife show up, buy 2 right there, and then left. And then they saw another Best Buy store opened up with those like weird kind of random walk-ins like a week ago. And then they did the same process there. So I'm getting like 10 different consoles. And they're trying to brag about this. Like, this is like, that's disgusting. It's not good. So as we go and see all these consoles, we are still seeing this pandemic of the walk-in schedule. Now, I do want to go and say, I am still more of a bigger fan of walk-ins. I do think it tones down the amount of botters. And I think botting's the bigger issue. I think we could all collectively agree. You have an Amazon restock and you go and have 10,000 consoles instantaneously bought by bots. I think that's a bigger issue than someone buying, say, 5 of them and kind of running around. But there's still kind of like that inadvertent issue where we are seeing this. And now, as I mentioned, we are seeing some retailers, such as Japanese retailers, finding a way to go and do it. So like basically, even like here, like Geo has introduced a similar system where they go and market the packaging. Geo sells PS5 consoles. Then you're also using a lottery system through the mobile app. And then anyone taking part in the lottery must have agreed to have an extra on the packaging pouch of the DualSense controller included with the console. Although it's not extreme, it's also likely to make some scalpers look elsewhere for fresh stock. Which I will go and say, I'm sure most people are okay with that. Like, if you really are trying to buy a third party, I'm sure you don't mind, because you're just going to use the console. You don't really care about like the box. You care more about the console, unless it was maybe a Christmas present or something like that. But man, it still stinks that in almost all these regions, we're still seeing so many scalpers. And that's, I think, just the big problem. And it always kind of comes down the same thing, where if Sony could just go make enough consoles and then basically scalpers stop making money, then guess what? These random 5, this is only a start. Like, they definitely got more and more as the day goes on, and for other drops, and for other days, and on further locations. But as soon as like it stops becoming profitable, then it will go and make it so normal folks will get their consoles. If you guys saw my video earlier on today, like the one I just uploaded before, if not, go check it out. It was a little bit of a ramble / talky video, but I did it, and did enjoy it. But when it comes to all the stock there, we saw up in the UK and also various other European places, consoles up for like half a day. And this is what we need, because if there's no like scarcity factor, if there's no rarity factor, if you're literally not sitting here doing lotteries to go get your consoles, which we even do this in America too, like I said, with Walmart and Best Buy, PS Directs, even Newegg for their day-to-day shuffles, then that means that you have less competition, because instead of having 50,000 people trying to get consoles, you have maybe 10,000. And then those 10,000, every single drop keeps on going down more and more and more and more and more. And people keep on slowly getting their consoles, and they keep on slowly having a nice day, and then life's not that bad. But until we kind of hit that really big supply to demand kind of crossover, where the supply slowly starts creeping up higher than the demand, kind of how we see it with the Xbox Series S or the other various consoles, even the Switch, where the Switch is, they're just producing like a madhouse over there. We're still going to have these issues. But it does stink because these scalpers, they're so obvious. Like, they literally have like, they'll just have like a central hub, and they'll just buy out everything they can, whether it because they get in with employees, or they just have so many lottery entries, or sometimes they even have bots to go and encourage themselves to have multiple lottery entries. So it's kind of like, it's like one of these days where I hate seeing this, especially in other regions, because I will be honest, us in America, a little bit in the UK, we are kind of spoiled. We get a lot of restocks. We just had a lot of restocks for Christmas and Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and all these other regions such as Japan, India, etc. Although they are getting drops and they're still getting consoles pretty consistently, we are definitely more spoiled here in America. So it just kind of makes me sad to go and see. It makes me sad to see scalpers still out in the wild. It makes me sad seeing scalpers still making good money off this stuff. And at some point, this will end. And at some point, we can have normal restocks. And at some point, just go on Amazon casually and go and buy one. It's not that day yet, but I still keep on thinking that it is slowly getting to that point. And hopefully scalpers at that point can also go and offload as much stock as they can and basically the price can go down, and all of you guys can get your consoles. But it's kind of crazy to go and see how big this scalping issue still is going on, and how many people are still doing this day to day, and how bad it still is in Japan. Because if you guys even remember this photo from a little bit ago, basically it's still hectic as all heck, and there's still people everywhere trying their best to get as many consoles as they possibly can to go and scalp it and make money. It's just kind of disappointing. So I don't know, kind of crazy to go and still see this everywhere. We're still seeing scalpers in the wild. We're still seeing people getting their consoles, and it makes me sad to go and see. So hopefully Sony can keep on making as many as they can to calm down this issue. But I do appreciate you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 disc, digital console, and controller. Twitter and Twitch stream as well, link down below. Sign up for Weeble, deposit $100. You guys go get free stock and free money. Same thing too as Coinbase, and also Sam brand new Samsung links down below. Creep on those, and I'll see you guys up in the next one, where we can hopefully go make even fun of more scalpers. Love you guys.